Hey everyone, this is Paul Steffen, and I'm going to show you how I repot my mame bonsai. And so we have the pot here, and we have the tree that I've been growing. This will actually fit perfectly inside this mame pot. First, I put in a screen to prevent all the particles, in this case akadama, from falling out the bottom. And once that is done, I sieve akadama into this very fine, almost sand-like grain. It has to be very small because if the particle size is too big, it's just going to be much too large for this small pot. Okay, and then normally I tie down these trees. I may not have to in this case, but if I do, I'm going to put this wire through the drainage holes on the bottom and up and tie it in. Lastly, I will be putting some of my 1-to-1 mix of New Zealand sphagnum moss and locally collected moss that I ground up. And so I'll be putting that on top so then moss grows. So let me get started. Okay, so next, to actually get it in this small pot, I'm gonna have to trim some roots on this mame tree. And of course I do that with some pruning shears. I've sterilized these before I use them anytime I start pruning a new tree, because I don't wanna spread viruses or other plant diseases through my pruning tool. So I highly recommend you sterilize your tools before doing this. So I'm going to trim some of the roots a little. Okay, so the roots have been pruned. I just pruned off the big ones that would not allow it to fit in this pot. And now the next step is I'm going to put in some soil. Just a very small amount. Okay. Now I'm gonna put the tree in there, but I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so next I find an angle that I like. So I like this angle. And the reason being, this is actually a abstract representation of a dragon. And I have a display that I'm trying to create where there's a Taoist scroll where it's kind of a homage to that. But I need a dragon. And I thought this tree was a really good representation of that, and this pot was a good fit. So now I'm tying it in. I'm going to actually tighten that. I have to work very carefully because this is such a small tree. And then after I have tied it in, I'm going to place some more bonsai miniature akadama in there. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm placing some more of the soil, and I very gently nudge it in. I do not want to break these particles and create muck in there. So everything I'm doing is very gentle and precise. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand, but so I'm actually going to use both my hands. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I applied the 1-to-1 ratio of the New Zealand moss and ground up moss that I found locally. I placed it on top, and now we're ready to water this little dragon tree. So now I give it a nice little water along with the other mini trees. And we are done. So as you can see, that's it, and it's not too difficult, and you can fit a bunch of trees in a really small spot. So that's why I like my mame bonsai trees. But yeah, I plan on making many more. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon. Subscribe and check out my website at kibonsaiart.com.